picture alt label portrayals. Web crawlers can't see designs or recognize text that may be contained inside them. Consequently, most motors will peruse the substance of the picture alt labels to decide the motivation behind a realistic. By setting aside the effort to create significant, yet watchword-rich alt labels for the pictures on your site, you increment the catchphrase thickness of your site. Albeit many web crawlers read and file the content contained inside alt labels, it's significant not to go over the edge in utilizing these labels as a major aspect of your web optimization battle. Most motors won't give this content any more weight than the content inside the body of your site. Imperceptible and small content. Imperceptible content will be content on a site that is coded in a way that makes it undetectable to human guests, yet lucid via web index arachnids. This is done so as to falsely swell the catchphrase thickness of a site without influencing its visual appearance. Shrouded text is a perceived spam strategy and almost the entirety of the significant web crawlers perceive and punish. Locales that utilization this strategy. This is the strategy of putting text on a page in a little text dimension. Pages that are dominatingly substantial and minuscule content might be excused as spam. Or then again, the little content may not be ordered. As an overall rule, attempt to stay away from pages where the text dimension is transcendently littler than typical. Ensure that you're not spamming the motor by utilizing a great many watchwords in an extremely little text dimension. Your little content might be a copyright notice at the exceptionally base of the page, or even your contact data. Assuming this is the case, that is fine. Watchword stuffing and spamming. Significant watchwords and depictions ought to be utilized in your substance in noticeable meta-labels, and you ought to pick the words cautiously and position them close to the top and have appropriate recurrence for such words. Anyway, it is essential to embrace balance in this. Catchphrase stuffing or spamming is a no-no today. Most pursuit motor calculations can recognize this, sidestep the spam, and some may even punish it. Dynamic URLs. A few pages in internet business and other useful destinations are produced powerfully and have, or on the other hand, and sign in their dynamic URLs. These signs separate the CGI factors. While Google will slither these pages, numerous different motors won't. One awkward arrangement is to create static likeness the dynamic pages and have them on your site. Another approach to maintain a strategic distance from such unique URLs is to revise these URLs utilizing a grammar that is acknowledged by the crawler and furthermore comprehended as proportionate to the dynamic URL by the application worker. The Amazon site shows dynamic URLs in structure. On the off chance that you are utilizing Apache Web Worker, you can utilize Apache revamp rules to empower this change. Redirect pages. In some cases, pages have a meta revive label that diverts any guest naturally to another page. Some web crawlers will not file a page that has a high revive rate. The meta invigorate tag anyway doesn't influence Google. Picture guides without alt text. Evade picture maps without text or with joins. Picture guides ought to have alt text, as additionally required under the American Inabilities Act, for open sites, and the landing page ought not have pictures as connections. Rather, HTML connections ought to be utilized. This is on the grounds that web indexes would not peruse picture joins and the connected pages may not get crept. Casings. There are a few motors whose arachnids want to work with outlines on your site. A site page that is assembled utilizing outlines is really a mix of substance from discrete pages that have been mixed into a solitary page through a frameset guidance page. The frameset page doesn't have any substance or connections that would have advanced spidering. The frameset page could square the spider-S development. The workaround is by putting a synopsis of the page content and important depiction in the frameset page, and furthermore by setting a connect to the landing page on it. Tables. At the point when you use tables on the key pages, and if a few segments have depictions while others have numbers, it is conceivable this may push your catchphrases down the page. Web crawlers separate the table and read them for the substance the sections have. The principal segment is understood first, at that point the following, etc. In this way, if the primary segment had numbers, and the following one had valuable portrayals, the situating of these depictions will endure. The procedure is to abstain from utilizing such tables close to the head of the key pages. Enormous segments of Java contents likewise will have a similar impact on the web indexes. The HTML part will be pushed down. Subsequently, once more, place your long JavaScripts drop-down on key pages. Connection spamming. Understanding the significance of connections and connection investigation in web crawler results, a few connection ranches and free-for-all locales have created the impression that proposal to give connects to your web page. This is additionally alluded to as connection spamming. Most web indexes are more intelligent to this undeniable strategy and ability to recognize this. Such FFA destinations, as they are known, don't give interface quality or connection setting, two factors that are significant in interface investigation. Therefore, the right methodology is to maintain a strategic distance from interface spamming and not become overly energetic by what is by all basic in answer. And on the off chance that you're researching for some straightforward things that you can do to expand the situation of your destination's rank in the web crawlers or indexes, this area will give you some hard-hitting and basic hints that you can place enthusiastically immediately. What would it be advisable for you to do now? It merits inventorying the fundamental standards to be authorized to expand site traffic and web crawler rankings. Create a site with important substance, items or administrations. Place essential and auxiliary watchwords inside the initial 25 words in your page substance and spread them uniformly all through the report. Research and utilize the correct watchword/expressions to pull in your objective clients. Use your catchphrases in the correct fields and references inside your website page, like title, meta labels, headers, and so forth. Keep your website plan straightforward with the goal that your clients can explore effectively between site pages, find what they need and purchase items and administrations. Submit your pages, for example each website page and not simply the landing page, to the most mainstream web indexes and registry administrations. Recruit somebody to do as such, whenever required. Be certain this is a manual accommodation. Try not to draw in a computerized accommodation administration. Keep track of changes in web index calculations and forms and likewise alter your site pages so your web search tool positioning stays high. Utilize online apparatuses and utilities to monitor how your site is getting along. Monitor your rivals and the highest level sites to perceive what they are doing well in the method of plan, route, content, catchphrases, and so forth. Use reports and logs from your web facilitating organization to see where your traffic is coming from. Break down your guest area and their approaching sources, whether web indexes or connects from different locales, and the catchphrases they use to discover you. Make your client visit simple and give them a lot of approaches to recollect you as pamphlets, free reports, decreased coupons, and so forth. Demonstrate your industry and item or administration skill by composing and submitting articles for your site or for article banks so you are seen as a specialist in your field. When selling items on the web, utilize straightforward installment and shipment strategies to make your customer's experience quick and simple. When not certain, recruit experts. Despite the fact that it might appear to be exorbitant, yet it is much more affordable than spending your cash on a site which nobody visits. Don't take a gander at your site as a static leaflet. Treat it as a dynamic, ever-changing deals area, much the same as your genuine store to which your clients with a similar earnestness.